I want to talk about this video that's been circulating around the internet titled "How to Remove Producer Tags from Beats." But let me tell you what really bothered me about that video. It wasn't even necessarily the fact that he was instructing people how to steal beats from us. It was really that the comments from producers that were being left on the video were so completely misinformed. That's a big part of how people are able to take advantage of producers so often. Let's talk about this. We can talk about whatever we want, but I think it's good for us to have in our toolkit some solutions to this. And honestly, the biggest point, I think the first point, and we talked about it last week too, is just contact the person stealing. Because like I said, some people are just dumb. They don't know that stealing a beat isn't a good thing to do. So if you catch someone stealing a beat, and usually you catch them because you'll get a copyright infringement notice on your beats via YouTube, it'll usually say the name of the person. So I'll just contact the person, tell you, yo, you can't do this. I'm going to give you 12 hours. I'm going to give you 24 hours to actually purchase the license. If you don't, then we're going to have an issue. I will take legal action. I leave it real vague. I'm like, I'll take legal action. They might think, oh, he's getting his lawyer because he's verified on Twitter. He's probably got a lawyer. But sometimes you can just get people to realize, oh, my bad. Let me just send you $30, $40, $50, you know, whatever the lease price is on your beat store, and then your problem is solved. But let's say that they're not responsive or they act like dicks, which can happen sometimes. Well, you have DMCA in your corner because, like I said, you automatically own the copyright to the beats that you create. What the law says is copyright automatically attaches as soon as an original work of authorship, or original works of authorship are fixed in any tangible medium of expression, which means your creation is copyrighted as soon as you write them down or record them, either on paper, a digital file, forum post, anything like that. So you have something called the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. They're very easy to file. You file them on YouTube, you file them on iTunes, so forth. And most of the time you'll get the music that has infringed on your copyright taken down. So there you have it. You know, if all else fails, don't let the people stealing from you take your money. I file claims like that all the time. There are a couple other ways to do it. Some people use content ID systems. So if someone does steal your beat, there's no way they can monetize it on platforms like YouTube. Some people have admin deals. I have an admin deal where if somebody is getting, like, let's say someone steals your beat, but they have 1 million views already on YouTube to the beat, and you don't have content ID on it. Well, you can maybe get an admin deal from somebody like Create. There are a lot of organizations like that. Create.tv is the one that I use. And they'll collect royalties based on how much money you're owed. So in this case, if it's your beat, it would be 50%. So I've done a lot of talking now. I want to open the floor. We can continue this conversation. We can go wherever we want.
I'll share. I had an experience earlier today, you know, based on a topic you were talking about earlier about, you know, artists or rappers ripping beats off of YouTube, free beats. I was in the studio earlier today talking with my engineer. And this other guy comes in and, you know, he wanted to demo some of his tracks. I was sitting in the background, so I was listening to him. And they asked, yo, where'd you get these beats? Oh, I just snatched them off of YouTube. I'm sitting there thinking like, really? You just snatching them off YouTube? But instead of getting pissed off, I used it to my advantage. I approached the guy. I was like, look, man, if you need some beats, I can help you out. And he was like, really? I'm like, yeah. So we sparked up a conversation, sat down with him, listened to his stuff again, gave him some pointers and some advice. And we actually worked out an arrangement where we're going to get together later on this week. So, you know, he was asking how much I charge. I'm like, well, we'll talk about that later. Let's work on some project stuff first, you know, and make sure me and you can, you know, get on the same direction. And then we'll discuss pricing later. But I thought it was interesting. We're having this conversation, and I just, you know, witnessed that today from a guy who was stealing beats from online.
I love that story because that's the type of stuff that I'm just starting to do myself, where, you know, when there's a conversation where I'm like, this person's not, I can't reach this person. And you take that extra effort like you did. And sometimes, maybe it's 40% of the time, maybe it's 60% of the time, but, you know, that's still worth it. 30% of the time, that's still worth it. Just being social, having that conversation. Because like you said, it sounded to me like you just went off the angle of, look, bro, you can't really do anything with these records. You're putting yourself at risk. And
Right.
and that's kind of what we have to explain. You know, like on the one hand, it does make me want to, you know, get mad and cuss somebody out. But on the other hand, it's like, look, if you're halfway reasonable and you put half an ounce of pride into your work, do you really want to be rapping on a tag beat where someone could just out of nowhere pull the rug up from under you and file a DMCA claim or monetize your content, or claim that you ripped them off and throw dirt on your brand?